Million veterans served in World War II. Only 1 million of them are still alive today. Tonight, in our final Black History Month report, Good for Utah's Nadia talks with 93-year-old James Love. He describes his experiences in a segregated army and his role in the Salt Lake community over the years.
But this is Iverson May. He was my best buddy.
These old black and white photos represent American history. A then 20-year-old James Love enlisted in a segregated U.S. Army in 1941 with hopes of flying a plane.
And he said, "What do you want?" And that kind of put the damper on all of my desires for flying for anyone.
Love stayed in the Army until one historic day in history. He still has the newspaper detailing that bloody event.
I decided I didn't want the military because of the bomb being dropped on Japan. People were hurting and they weren't very happy with what was taking place.
Love honorably discharged from the Army just before it integrated in 1948. But the world outside of the military was just as segregated as ever.
Well, you had to call first to make sure that they would serve Negroes.
Love's daughter, Janie Love Brown, says she experienced her share of racism. But living in Utah, she felt sheltered from the riots and atrocities happening in the Deep South.
So when I see things on TV, remembering, and I says, where was I? I know I was there, but I didn't.
The Loves have lived in Utah since 1946, when Mr. Love was stationed here. After the war, Love worked for the post office for 33 years, and for more than 50 years, he owned a barbershop.
You have a more steady income.
Jim's barbershop is exactly where it was 50 years ago at 219 East, 800 South in Salt Lake City. New owners, but they're keeping Mr. Love's legacy alive.
It's a coming together. It's a lot of times it was a meeting place.
James Love looks back on 93 years and tries to only think of the good days. He still walks 2 miles a day, but credits his positive attitude for living to see 94.
A little cake and ice cream, A couple of his buddies are coming up. They've already called and said they'll be up.
Happy 94th birthday, Mr. James Love, from all of us. In Salt Lake City, Nadia, Good for Utah.
That's right. Love turns 94 years old tomorrow. He hopes to get a spot on the next Utah Honor Flight and finally see the Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C.